Number 5. Using human shields. Imagine how tough it must be to invade China back in 1211. At this time, the Mongols were still transitioning out of their nomadic horse-riding troublemaker phase to the empire-building phase, and they still hadn't figured out the whole siege warfare thing. When Genghis begins to invade territory in China that was controlled by the Jin dynasty, he's kinda stumped. These Chinese cities have huge walls with huge doors, and on top of that, they don't even let him in. Rude! The annoying defenders of these cities would also do things like shoot his men with arrows and plant booby traps and stuff. So, to minimize Mongol casualties, he came up with a brilliant idea: capturing civilians and prisoners of war to use as human shields, a tactic known as Karash, meaning living boards. The Mongols would pillage surrounding towns and take prisoners to use as human shields. They would take these prisoners to the cities they were trying to siege and hide behind them as they were shot with arrows from the defenders. The prisoners being in the front of the line would also be the ones to walk into any traps that were intended for the Mongols. You might be thinking, human shields? That's not very original. But what made this extreme was Cengiz's shields weren't just men. He included women and children in there too. Imagine what it was like for the Jin soldiers in the city to have to shoot women who looked like their wife or mom. Sometimes the Mongols took this tactic even further. During sieges, they would force the captives to carry siege equipment towards the walls, knowing full well that they'd be the first to get hit by the defenders' arrows, bombs, and boiling oil. Yeah, pouring boiling oil on attackers was apparently normal back then. And Genghis Khan didn't use this tactic just once. It became his calling card, showing he was willing to sacrifice anyone just to reach his goals. In fact, he was probably more than willing, he probably enjoyed it.